Hey everybody, I know you're probably soaking up the last sunny days of the season as we really move into fall and winter. So I've got a great game to share with you that's all about getting the right amount of sunlight. It's called Verdant, and I backed it on Kickstarter and got my copy just this last week. Being in the gaming industry, it's really fun to see the kinds of trends and themes and mechanics that just become super popular and stay popular for a number of years. And one kind of thing I've noticed recently is that a lot of games have a grid design or a puzzling feature that asks players to design things in a 4x4, 3x4, 3x3, 5x5 grid. You name it, but it's just about that size. And in this game, Verdant, players are designing a 5x3 grid where they have rooms adjacent to plants, and those plants are going to need a certain kind of sunlight. And if you can match that room to the plant next to it, you're going to receive more points. Which makes this game a super fun, abstract, puzzly game with a lovely theme. I find that it's so vibrant and it's just so lovely to look at because there are wholly unique plant cards here. Even though there are 5 types or 5 varieties of plants in this game, each one of those types has a different plant with its name and a picture of it depicted along with its favored sunlight. There are 3 stages: full sun, half sun, and no sun, which I again find so fascinating because players can't design their grid in whatever order they like as long as they only have 3 high, so their columns are only 3 cards tall, and then their rows are 5 long. So you can have a space that has more rooms than you have plants, or more plants than you have rooms, depending on how you design it. But it has to match a checkerboard design, alternating cards of rooms with cards of plants. So on a player's turn, they are simply going to look at a display that has 4 rooms, 4 tokens, and 4 plants in these 4 different columns. And you know, that really reminds me of Cascadia, where you have a choice of a tile with an animal disc. And so there's this really wonderful pairing. Do I choose to take the room card with the tile or token in this game, which could be one of 2 different types? There are super cool green-backed tokens, and those are called nurture items. And the other items are room items like furniture and little knickknacks and things that help you zhuzh up your rooms, which will give you more victory points for matching plants adjacent to that colored room. So when you look at these columns, you're not taking the entire column though. You're simply choosing one and taking either the top card or the bottom card and the item in between. And the one you leave vacant, say you take the top card along with the item, the one on the bottom gets what's called a green thumb token. And the green thumb tokens you collect and you can spend 2 of to do a variety of things, which is so cool. Again, reminds me of those acorns in Cascadia. It'll allow you to kind of manipulate the market to flush out cards, replace cards and tokens, and maybe take a mismatched pairing of a card with a non-column adjacent item token, which again, I love the flexibility. I love just the fact that there's some way to manipulate that market to maximize your grid. So after a player's taken a card, either a room or a plant along with the token, they place it into their grid, and yes, they have to match that room, plant, adjacency. So you can never have 2 rooms side by side orthogonally, and you can never have 2 plants side by side orthogonally. So you place your card, and if you want to use any of your bonuses like spending your green thumbs or using some of those items by placing them into rooms or spending them to give your plants verdancy, you do it. And then after that, you replace the card and then play passes to the next player. and you will only be taking 13 turns in this game. It's super fast, super easy, because players start with 2 cards, 1 room, and 1 plant. And they get to kind of arrange those cards however they like to begin the game, which might actually give their plants some sunlight. Now here's the cool thing. If you complete the required sunlight on a particular plant, you will take the highest value pot, which starts at 3, goes to 2, goes to 1, and then of course the terracotta pots are just 0, but it allows you to finish your plant, which is great. You can always finish a plant and score the points underneath the verdancy threshold. So that's how you're going to score big points in this game, is by completing your plants, by giving them the amount of sunlight that they need from adjacent room cards. You can also play with the advanced scoring cards, and I would say just toss them right in. If you are a gamer, if you've played a lot of games like this, or it sounds like you have, just throw them in on the first play, because I did and totally didn't regret it. It just makes the game a little bit more strategic in that you're not just planning for what you get to score in your grid area at the end of the game, but you also get to score bonus points for achieving certain goals that are related to plants, rooms, and items. This game is fantastic for 2 to 4, and the solo play has this fascinating feature of a timer that essentially conveyor belts off the rightmost column of your room, item, and plant card off the board. So if you want things, you're going to have to really value the cards that are on the right side of the market versus the left side, because they're going to go away and you'll never see them again. And so you just simply look at a scale of how many points you earned and see how well you did, and then try again. So I think the solo is an equally fun and engaging way to play the game if you don't have another friend or 2 to play, but it really scales well for 2 to 4 and is a perfect 30 to 45 minute game. I thought it was super easy to get into. I loved that it really fits the zeitgeist of these grid, puzzly, tableau games that are out there right now that I'm just seeing scads of, and I love the artwork and think that this game is super, super replayable. And the way that players score just makes so much sense. You get to score your rooms, you get to score your plants, you also will score for variety bonuses. So if you've not just focused on a couple colors, like orange and yellow, you've really spread out and you've got a variety, you might earn those collector bonuses, which is really smart that they value, or the game does, that getting out there and trying and grabbing a whole bunch of different things. And it also says, hey, are your cards not coming up and you've tried to flush the cards with your green thumbs and that's not working too? Well, guess what? You've got a teal, a blue, a pink, an orange, and a yellow card. You, my friend, are going to receive 3 bonus points at the end of the game. So that's really, really cool. And you also get to score for the plants that don't complete, and you'll receive half of your verdancy rounded down. So let's say you've got 5 verdancy, you've shine that light on that plant 5 times. You're going to receive 2 points because half of 5 rounded down is 2. So you're still going to get some points. It's just not going to be the max points for scoring that particular card if you got to the full maximum required verdancy. Verdant is a game that is produced by Flatout Games and AEG, and I have to say that the one game I'm really looking forward to from Flatout Games is Fit to Print. And so until I can get my paws on Fit to Print, I'm going to be jumping into a game of Verdant and sharing it with friends regularly, because this is such an easy game to put out, and it's such a beautiful game, and I think the components are absolutely fantastic. I love the little Verdant tokens that show the sunlight on your plants. They work incredibly well. And again, this is just so replayable with the unique variety of room cards, plant cards, and item tokens. It's just good. It's a good game to sink your teeth into. That's that puzzly 30-minute game. And again, wonderful theme. So 2 thumbs up for Verdant. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me for this wonderful, last hurrah of the beautiful sunny season as we head into coat and scarf and glove season. All right, I'll see you next time.